everybody, let's read this story called Dinosaurs. I'm the Boss. Mrs. D had just finished reading Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Oh, we read that story, remember? About the little girl who goes into the bear's house and she eats their porridge and she sits in their chairs and then she goes into their bedroom and she falls asleep in Baby Bear's bed. Remember that story? So Mrs. D had just finished reading Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Now it was time to go outside. As the children lined up by the door, Tara said, "I love that story. Let's play Goldilocks and the Three Bears in the playground. Who wants to play with me?" "I do," said Joshua. "Me too," said Tracy. Brendan, Danielle, and Albert wanted to play as well. "Let's play in the big blocks area," Tara shouted as they walked outside. The children followed Tara. "Before we start, I have something to tell you," she said. Then Tara sang, "I'm the boss. This is my game. Listen to me now. I will tell you what to do, and I will tell you how." "I'm leaving," said Joshua. "This doesn't sound like a fun game to me." "That's okay," said Tara. "We still have lots of people who want to play." Tara stood on one of the tree stumps. "I'm going to be Goldilocks," she announced. "But I want to be Goldilocks," Tracy said. "No," said Tara. "I'm the boss, so I'm Goldilocks." She doesn't sound like she's being a very nice friend, does she? "Mrs. D! Mrs. D!" shouted Tracy. "Tara is being too bossy. I want to be Goldilocks, but she won't let me." "It's my game, and I'm Goldilocks," Tara said. Why don't both of you play the part of Goldilocks?" Mrs. D suggested. "You can take turns." Tracy nodded yes. "That's a bad idea," said Tara. "There's only one Goldilocks, and that's me." "No fair," said Tracy as she stomped away. "I'm not playing." "Well, Tara," said Mrs. D, "this game might be more fun for your friends if you listen to their ideas too." "I won't," said Tara. "I'm the boss, and that's that." Wow. "All right," said Mrs. D. "Let's see what happens." Mrs. D walked to the nearby climber. "I'll be over here if you need me," she said. Tara turned to face the other children. "Danielle," she said, "you're Mama Bear because you're a girl. Albert, you're Papa Bear. And Brendan, you're Baby Bear." "Why?" asked Brendan. "Because sometimes you act like a baby," Tara replied. "Oh, that's not nice to call somebody a baby." "I do not act like a baby," Brendan yelled, "but I should be Papa Bear because I'm big and I have a loud voice." Brendan stood up tall. Someone's been sleeping in my bed," he shouted. "I'm sorry," said Tara, "but I'm the boss and you're Baby Bear." "No, I'm not," said Brendan, and he walked away. Tara, Danielle, and Albert were the only children left. "What are we going to do now?" asked Albert. "There's only enough of us for Goldilocks and two bears." "That's okay," said Tara. "I'll be Goldilocks and Baby Bear." "Now let's begin. Pretend we're in the Three Bears' house in the forest." Tara began to stack some blocks. "Help me make the table where Mama Bear, Papa Bear, and Baby Bear are eating their porridge." Danielle and Albert helped Tara build the table. When they finished, Tara turned to Danielle. "Bring me 3 containers from the sandbox. We need them for our porridge bowls." "You didn't ask me in a nice way," said Danielle. "My mommy says you should always say please." "I'm the boss," said Tara, "and I don't have to say please." "What? You don't think she should say please?" "I do." "I don't like this game anymore," said Danielle. Leaving the blocks area, "I'm going to go play with Tracy." "I'll get the bowls myself," said Tara, walking to the sandbox. When she came back, the only child left was Albert. "All right," said Tara. "I'll be Goldilocks, Baby Bear, and Mama Bear." "Okay," said Albert. "Let's build 2 chairs," said Tara. Albert and Tara made chairs by stacking square blocks. They sat down. "Albert, make believe you're eating porridge and it's too hot." Albert pretended to eat the porridge from his bowl. "Ow!" Albert exclaimed in a deep Papa Bear voice. My porridge is too hot. Now I'll be Mama Bear and Baby Bear and pretend my porridge is too hot too, said Tara. It's too hot. She tasted her porridge, just as Mama Bear, and then first as Mama Bear and then as Baby Bear. Tara quickly stood up. Now, let's go for a walk, Papa Bear, Tara said in her best Mama Bear voice. Okay, said Albert as Papa Bear. Then he said, somebody's been eating my porridge. No, no, said Tara. You're not supposed to say that now. Goldilocks hasn't even been here yet. Then she shouted, you don't know how to play. I don't care, said Albert, and he walked away. Goodbye. Why did everyone leave Tara? Everyone, one by one, decided they didn't want to play. Is she being too bossy? Mrs. D walked over and sat down. It's no fun playing Goldilocks and the Three Bears by yourself, is it? I'm sorry that the other children left your game, said Mrs. D. What do you think happened? I don't know, said Tara. Maybe I was a little too bossy. Perhaps you were, said Miss D. Tara, how do you feel when people are bossy with you? I don't like it, said Tara. That's probably a good thing to remember when you play with your friends, Mrs. D said. Okay, said Tara. I'll try. Tara, you have such wonderful ideas, says Miss D. When we go outside tomorrow, I'm sure your friends will want to play with you again. Maybe they won't, said Tara. And I want to play the Three Little Pigs and the Big Bad Wolf. That's a fun game. Do you want to ask them now? Asked Mrs. D. Tara nodded. Mrs. D called the children over to the big blocks area. Tara has something to ask you, said Mrs. D. When we go outside tomorrow, said Tara, I want to play the Three Little Pigs and the Big Bad Wolf. Does anyone want to play? I won't be so bossy. I do, said Danielle. I want to be the Big Bad Wolf, Tracy called out. But I want to be... Tara said, remembering what she had just said to Mrs. D. Tara stopped and thought, okay, Tracy, you can be the Big Bad Wolf. I'll be one of the pigs. Now the other children wanted to play too. I'm sure tomorrow's game will be much better than today's, said Mrs. D. Then Tara sang a new song. Today I was too bossy. It had to be my way. Tomorrow will be different when we go out to play. And it was time to put the blocks away and go inside.